depending on where you may be. Thank you for standing by and welcome to today's Tivoli User Community Webcast. Our topic for today is IBM Control Desk's roadmap and the approach to analytics, Watson Technologies in bringing the cloud and on-premise solutions. All phone lines are currently in a listen-only mode, and later there will be a question and answer session with instructions being given at that time. You may ask a question at any time using the chat window located in the control panel. Chat questions will be answered at the end of the presentation with the rest of the Q&A portion. Today's session is being recorded, and you'll be provided a copy of today's materials following the call. Now, I'd like to introduce our expert speaker for today. Richard Johnston has over 40 years working in the IT industry. He has been with service management for the last 7 years in different positions and currently is a product manager for IBM Control Desk. Richard, take it away.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody joining with us today to talk about Control Desk. We've had a recent announcement which brings in a lot of new function. I'm excited to tell you about that today. I want to spend a couple minutes up front and talk about the strategy for the Control Desk, what we see, how it's positioned within the marketplace, how we see it moving forward will be covered at the very end of this session. So I appreciate everybody's attendance once again, and I look forward to answering your questions. My peer, Rob Goodling, is also on the line, so if you hear from him, don't be surprised about that, but the two of us will be taking you through the Control Desk. We do have one question I've got to ask you. It's only fair. We give you information. We're going to get information out of you. We've got to poll questions about the SaaS. So if we could ask Sam to go ahead and run that poll, I'd appreciate it.
Yep, we'll fire that poll up right now. The votes are coming in. We'll keep it open for another 20 seconds or so, let everyone say their piece.
That's the idea.
Exactly. Still getting some votes trickling in. We'll hold it open for another 10 seconds or so. Okay. So for the question, do you have plans to move from an on-premise solutions to SaaS? 7% of the audience is currently on SaaS. 10% are moving to SaaS within a year. 7% are moving within 3 years. 17% are moving to a hybrid model, and 60% have no plans to move to SaaS at this point.
Well, very good. I appreciate that input. It's very important to us as we go ahead and continue to. Why did I get out of? Let me get back to slideshow. As we move forward, it is very important to get everybody's opinion. So I look at these webcasts as a very important piece of how we go into doing planning. And since we just released a new release, or Control Desk 7.6, we will be going into a planning session. Okay, we've already done a lot of planning for our next release, but I want everybody to know on the call that these polling questions do influence our continued development of product, as does any requests for improvements that come through the RFE process will influence what we do in the next release. But let me get to the matter at hand here. I've been around service management for many, many years, and the things are getting better, considering where we came from. but there are things affecting us from a technology perspective, from a cloud perspective, from a analytical perspective, and we still have more to do. This is no different from anybody in the business will tell you that. We get feedback from many different channels, and one of the things we get feedback is from talking to customers like yourself. And so we collect that data, feed it into it, and you read some of the quotes here. We also talk to a lot of analysts. They have a much broader view of customers as well as other vendor products. And so you can see some of their quotes here as well. But, and there's some things we just pull out of our daily reading, okay, in that things that we need to do. We notice, hey, there's been outages here and there, and then we look to see, well, what caused the outage? Why did it happen? What can we do predictively so outages do not occur? What analytical things can we do to be more predictive, to be more actionable in terms of eliminating the outages? And certainly the IT technology has matured. We're going to continue to mature it ourselves. And keep those in mind as we go through the presentation. Now, just as an introduction into moving into our strategy, there's been a lot of organizational changes within IBM, and doesn't necessarily change our mission, but it's good to hear that many of the organizational changes, our missions, are common in some sense. And so within our areas, within the systems group, okay, we have 3 divisions of product development. We have the operations area, we have the performance and automation area. Performance is all our IBM's performance products, and they reside within there. And operations is all the key things from how a customer go about in an operations, your network management slew of products are in there. And then finally, if you look over to green here, the automation area, that's where Control Desk resides, along with the workload scheduler, workload automation, and process automations. But one of the key things here is we're all trying to move to the cloud in some form or another. Control Desk is on the cloud today. We do have the capability of operating in a hybrid fashion. Okay, I don't think anybody that's seriously in this marketplace would not run within a hybrid environment, because certainly not all products run within, not all solutions, not all business services run all 100% completely within the cloud. And of course, our on-premise customers, we're going to continue to work with you guys. We're going to continue to provide updates. So we're going to work in the way that you want us to work, and that's why some of these polling questions are very important. One of the things is that we're all being tasked to do within the systems group is this area of analytics, okay? To get to a higher level of understanding in terms of the data we collect, in terms of the actions that are going on within products, taking different data, as an example, performance data, bring it in with Service Desk and provide analytical pictures or reports that are actionable, okay, that customers begin to see where problems are being introduced and what data they can take action on to improve their systems. So again, good news here. This is how we work. Okay, for those this is a very busy chart. Okay, and we really got 4 quadrants here. I'm really going to talk to the upper left-hand and the right-hand quadrants. The upper left-hand quadrant is a architecture chart that shows all the different capabilities that exists within the control desk. Some of these, if you remember a few years back, these type of pictures, some of these functions are new, including service catalog, what we've introduced is App Store, and some of those type of capabilities. We really feel from a control desk perspective, these capabilities are going to drive the way IT interfaces with its end users in the future. So very important, and the feedback from our customers and analysts, look at what we've done and we're right on. The service delivery, governance, and IT assets, all very important pieces of control desk, and will be continued to be maintained and improved along the way. Now, one of the interesting things that we're doing with control desk, with these little gray bars between the blue and the red and the, I guess that's brown and green boxes, when we're integrating products, those bars are not there. The whole process can be executed in an end-to-end process, and I'll talk a little bit about that in some of the things we've done with our truly solid integrations. The right-hand box is just some analysts that we're working with in terms of being evaluated by those analysts. And the good news is Infotech continues to rate us a champion, both in terms of the capability we have as well as our outlook on what we're going to do. We share a little level more detail on our plans, and they have really provided some positive feedback. Some people will say, well, wait a minute, there's a pink there. Yes, we are pink certified. Our certification has disappeared from their website because we didn't. We haven't paid our bill on repaying for that service that they provide, and we will be doing that shortly. There's some wow statements down there in the bottom left hand, and we do have thousands of clients and millions of users. We threw out some of the our customers there that agreed to let us use their pictures. So I'm going to ask another poll question here. Okay, this one's on asset management. I'd really like to get your input on asset management. So Sam, can I ask you to jump into here again, please?
Yep, sure. I've just launched the poll, Rich. So ladies and gentlemen, please do take a moment and answer if you do use IBM Control Desk asset management capabilities. Keep it open another 10 seconds or so here to let everyone get their answer in. Alrighty. So it looks like it's pretty close. 44% of the audience do use it, and 56% do not.
Okay, very good. That helps us out a lot. Even that level of information is critical for us in what we're doing from a planning perspective. Every time you do that, it takes me out of screen show mode.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. But anyhow, moving forward here. Okay, getting in a little bit more deeper into the strategy. Okay, and I've really pared this down a little bit. We look at the control desk as being a core component of any management solution. And in this circle, you see cloud applications, infrastructure, etc. What we have to deal with from a management perspective. It's amazing. Every time I get in a conversation with a customer, the customer will say the word management. Okay, but then we have to get into discussion. Well, what does that mean? Is that problem management? Is it incident management? Is it IT asset? Is it end user? Is it endpoint? We've got to define those so that we can begin to understand the scope. And the other thing we have to do is we've got to understand in what environment do you want to apply those management verbs, if you will, okay, or nouns. How do you want to go about management? And having IBM Control Desk in the center there, and then executing and doing end-to-end integrations across these management disciplines makes it a very attractive options. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of those in a minute, but it's really how do we interact with the adjacencies. When I think of an adjacency, it might be in an adjacent IBM product, it might be an adjacent vendor product, but it is how do I interact with that adjacent product, and I'm going to use Endpoint Manager as an example here. What's the integration between our Control Desk and Endpoint Manager in the environment that the customers are running my program? Okay, and I'm going to talk about how we've integrated those two above and beyond just normal exchange of data to an actual transactional level, so that if you're running an app store and you want a new copy of Adobe, you go into that app store, you click on Adobe and request it to be downloaded. All the approvals are taken, can be done through automation within Control Desk, and then the transaction being offloaded to IEM, and IEM will go ahead and deliver the software and report back that yes, it did occur. And in the meantime, Control Desk has updated the license counts within the asset management tables, as well as responded to the request through the self-service interface. And so if I take a look at this, here's an example of that. This is the collaborative service management portal. That's another piece or another adjacency that we've made available, and we announced it last December, or February, excuse me, that makes it available from a SaaS perspective. This is a piece of code that you can feed in all the different data about a problem, okay? You can, whether it's performance, that data will come on, whether it's a problem record and an incident record, that will come in and it'll be fed into this collaborative ops capability. At that point in time, through a cooperative war room or a collaborative area, different experts from around the company can come in, look at that, and the problem can be resolved much quicker. Now, this little circle here is showing an example or showing what we do today. But when we get beyond monitoring, when we get beyond event management, think about the capabilities that will provide our end users. It is in a beta right now. We are collecting feedback from our customers, but again, it's taking the management discipline, if you will, raising it to a higher level, letting all the products down below feed data in so that action can be taken on problems. Very exciting, because I really think this is the way that the next churn of the maturity curve within service management in terms of higher level management, as opposed to everybody being down in product A, product B, product C. Yes, there's still need to get there, and they'll be available, but let's raise the discussion and availability of people working on problems. Another area where we've done some really good integration, and let me tell you, we worked on this hand in hand with one of the clients there, Bendigo Bank, as well as some of these other customers. But Bendigo Bank came to us and said, look, we need this capability, okay, whether it's from a self-service, hey, I push on this application, gets delivered without human intervention, or whether it's the case if I have a change, okay, and I know change management processes within Control Desk. Hey, I want to be able, once those changes went through that process, I want to be able to give that endpoint manager, get that change down to the endpoints as quickly as possible. And also, I know the value of the endpoint data. The endpoint manager collects a lot of very good configuration and asset data. Okay, I want that loaded into my asset tables. I want to do license management against that data. Now we know that endpoint manager does some of that, but we develop processes on top of that data so that license tables are updated when a new license is used, etc. So there's a lot of value in tightly integrating these different components, and you can certainly, we're going to certainly continue to look at this level of integration as we move forward with the development of Control Desk. A lot of good feedback on this capability. Now, I didn't talk about all what you already know about Control Desk. What I've done is I want to invite everybody on this phone, and I use this chart every discussion I have. Go out to Service Engage. If you haven't looked at the new capabilities, go out to Service Engage, play with them. Have request a system to be set up where you can actually play with the system. You can utilize the system. You can load your own data into the system. And then you can begin to see how that new release or that new capability. Because one of the things, I'll tell you right up front, one of the things we're doing is our on-premise customers, they don't want new changes every month. Okay, that's what they've told us. And if I'm wrong there, please correct me. They want to do a release maybe once a year, if that. Okay, so we made a decision that as we develop in this agile environment, we're going to put new changes out on Service Engage and then make them available to our end users through this thing called a service portal. We're going to make that service portal available to all our SaaS users. But in addition, what we've done in the current release, and I'll talk about that in a minute, is made that SaaS portal available to our on-premise customers. So if you want to try out some of this new capability, you want to run in a production environment, you can do that. You go out to Service Engage and request access to it. And by the way, I'm not going to charge any more for it either. Okay, it's a great way for customers to get hold of the new capabilities, see what effects they will have, whether they want to move to them immediately using the service portal, or whether they want us to wait until we move or that capability back into the on-premise solution. So go out there, use it. It's a great tool that we've provided the customers here. Okay. Okay, real quick, okay, is what we're doing here. The focus of our future is going to be on these things. We've got to make our product consumable, more consumable. We've got a lot of great feedback from you customers out there, and we're going to continue to make changes to from a consumable. And we're going to make our product more intelligent. Okay, you're going to hear a lot of things in a couple of minutes about analytics and Cognos and log analytics. So you're going to hear a lot about how we're trying to leverage our data and make it more meaningful for the end user. You're going to see new reports, etc., out of the box reports based on Cognos. And I've already talked a lot about integrated, but we're going to continue to press on integration. We're going to make it easy for us to integrate with other products. I know that we've had some difficulties in the past, but again, we're going to focus on integration. So that's the left-hand side of the chart. The center of the chart is things that we've implemented in our 7.5.3 and 7.5.2 releases, and then in progress and planned is where we're headed. I'll get into a little bit more depth when I go over the the roadmap slide, but the ones in bold are things that we've done in 7.2, and I'll talk to you about each one of those to a certain extent. So let's move forward here. So what is new in the IBM Control Desk in 7.6? Okay, like I say, we've just announced this last week, and EGA is the end of this week. So this information is very important to you. So nobody's sleeping on the phone, hopefully. I can tell a bad joke if you'd like me to. So the GUI, we talked about the, if I read down these, the service portal is going to be providing a lot of new capability from an end user perspective for self-service, for service catalog, and ticketing capabilities. Now we're going to continue to work on that in the future, but that's there in 7.6, and I'll show you some of the things there. Service Desk portal on cloud. We are asking our customers to go out there and give it a try. Request use of it, see how it works within your environment. You can run it either from a production or a test environment, and have that capability at your hands. Enjoy those new enhancements that we've put in there. From an intelligence perspective, okay, we've adopted IBM Cognos 10.2, which provides a lot of capability. We've got a lot of reports out of the box. You can use those as your initial reports and build upon them, or you can create your own reporting catalog if you would like. We've also introduced, now this is a case where an adjacency has provided integration to Control Desk, okay, where IBM Operations Analytics log analysis has created an attachment so that they can go out and look at our data and pull them into the reporting that they do. You're going to see that as well. This whole analytics area, again, I mentioned at the beginning, it's very important to IBM. We're going to continue to build upon this. And one of the things this audience has been told me, when am I going to support IE11? Well, this last item, the TPAE platform, they also asked me, when am I going to support Maximo 7.6 or Enterprise Asset Management 7.6. This is the release that will bring in all that capability, plus a bunch more that I'll talk to you about in a minute. Those are the four major areas. Let me get into a little deeper in here. When we're beginning to look at how IT is beginning to structure itself, we certainly have systems of engagements. Okay, for the customers that are going to remain on-premise and not use our service portal until it's put into the on-premise release, which we are going to do, well then system of engagement could be that portal that we have out there, that service portal with all that new capability, has the self-service interface in there so that you know, those thousands of customers that do not have to be licensed to use that self portal can get in and request things from your IT infrastructure. Okay, we really look at that self-service interface as being the new way customers are going to have their end users contact them, integrate with them, request new services, request new applications to be rolled out, you name it. So that's the system of engagement where customers are going to touch things and work with the product. Now we have systems of record and automation. A lot of customers are very leery about getting off that on-premise because of, hey, that's my data going out there. But even with the service portal, your data is not stored in the cloud. It's all stored in your on-premise if an on-premise customer wants to use a service portal. We understand that, and we designed the service portal so that it is not a data store. It is a ability to do transactions and get data, but again, all the data, all the communications is happening with the systems of record and automation. Okay, systems of insight. This is where we understand service management has been around for a number of years. We understand the layout of the data. We understand the importance of performance data and event data and network data and collection, configuration data. We know all that. And now we have the capability through our tooling, the Cognos and the log analytics that we put into the product, and the additional things we'll be putting in that, how to analyze that data in a way that provides more value to you, the customers. Now I'm running through this, but please bear with me. Okay, self-service portal, and I apologize for the way this slide, this screen capture showed up, but this is just something that we had in the last release, but I wanted to reintroduce you to our self-service portal or app store and some of the things that we've done there. This is a case where somebody wants Citrix GoToMeeting license. It's amazing. That's what we're using here. But what has changed here is we've added some social tools in terms of reviews. Hey, you can get on this and say, hey, this really worked well. I appreciate the quick access to updating my applications on my endpoint. Because all that, once you click that button to get access to it, that's going to flow through that IEM integration again. And also, it has a details button where it can drive down and provide you more information about what this function is. Again, pretty clean in the way it appears, being able to be rated. You see the 4 gold stars there. And if they're more white stars and gold, it gives you reason that, hey, you might want to check to see what people are saying about your interface here. From a consumable perspective, we made a giant leap in the 7.5.3 and now in 7.6 with what we're doing to make it easy to use. Take a look at these screens, okay? This would, if I were you, this would be one of the driving factors. I'd want to go out and play with it, okay? The screens are a lot cleaner, more intuitive. There's mobile support all over this area of the product. We have worked with our sponsors. Okay, I'm inviting everybody on the phone as a customer to be a sponsor. What a sponsor does for us, when we go to develop new capability, we show it to our sponsor customers. And they make comments. They'll comment on the design. They'll comment on things that we can change because we're doing this proactively in a development environment. Okay, we'll take their feedback and we will implement the feedback prior to the product being released. So we need more sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, get in touch with me, okay, at IBM or Rob. I'm sorry I don't have my, I guess I have that in my profiles that you can get access, but get in touch with us and we can put you into our sponsor program. What it is from a commitment perspective is a couple times during our development cycle, we'll be calling you and we will demonstrate things to you and you will be able to provide feedback. Might take an hour, might take a half an hour, but we will demonstrate, we will show your suggestions in the next cycle of the feedback. But sponsors are the way that we're developing our new look and feel as well as some of the key functions. Okay, reports and business analytics. These are just some of the charts that I pulled. Certainly we have out-of-the-box reports and we have new out-of-the-box Cognos reports. And when I say this, it's both for on-premise and for the SaaS environment. You can see the example reports there. You can read the text. I'm not going to read it to you. We're very excited about this area. We brought in a lot of people to help generate these reports. We talked to a lot of customers. We have a large consumer packaged good customer in the Northeast that has provided us a lot of input on these, as well as a financial bank out of Atlanta. This is how we use those sponsored customers. You know, I'm a developer here. Tell me what you think would be analytical or actionable in a report. Tell me which one of those that you would like to see. And so we've put together a lot of out-of-the-box reports, use them as the base, add new context, new Cognos reports, look at your log analytics, and go at it. Okay, it's a new world with how we're uniting the data and being able to report on it. Okay, moving to the base component, which we run commonly with Maximo, Enterprise Asset Management. We moved to TPAE 7.6. Okay, so what did that provide you? Well, record locking. Okay, no longer having the problem within a application to have to re-enter data. In other words, data will now be locked, and when it's free or unlocked, the next person in line gets use of that data and can make changes. Some of these, this was a big problem with a lot of the customers, and you told us about it. We went to Maximo because the feature had to stay within the TPAE. We did a lot of talking. Our own internal operations that bases their service management on Control Desk reported the problem. So it was a benefit to all our customers. So you should see improved productivity within your end users. Okay, some of our customers run Maximo EAM in the same instance they run Control Desk, and there's a lot of value in sharing a common platform, particularly around asset management. There's the flow of assets out of Maximo and flow of asset data into EAM. So it's good to have this compatibility, excuse me. And so we've introduced, when we went to 7.6, we're now able to run again within the same instance. A lot of our Maximo customers are very happy to hear this. E-signature support. Okay, we've upgraded that so that the signature is authorized before things move forward. So that is in there. And then from a platform support, this is what keeping compatible introduced to our customers in terms of TPAE 7.6. We depend on this, and this is equal to SaaS as well, that when we bring in 7.6, that we recognize a lot of additional capability from a platform perspective, including databases, including browsers, app servers, etc. So this is a major jump for us, and so this is how we'll recognize moving forward. So let me quickly go over a very short roadmap. Okay, 7.5.3 is there. You guys know all about it. 7.6, we just walk you through there. That's the thing in the center. But let me give you a little understanding of a yellow dot and a blue dot. A yellow dot represents a release to the SaaS environment. Okay, so we're moving very quickly to update the SaaS environment. We're learning from our customers that, hey, maybe a monthly update's not what I want. Maybe it's a little longer. We're looking at that, and we're going to continue to balance that because we understand that some of these changes might have an effect. And we're learning that, and we'll continue to work with our SaaS customers to work any problems out or any scheduling problems out. The blue dots are our intention of when we're introducing changes to on-premise. Monthly changes to on-premise will drive you guys wacky. I'm sure you don't want that. If you do want that, I want to meet you. Okay, and we will be making another major delivery to our on-premise customers probably mid-year next year. We haven't put that in concrete yet, but that's when we're looking at doing things like that. Excuse me. Sorry, I need to take a drink. So the next thing that you're going to see is additional improvements in the self-order in the GUI, similar to what we put out there, but think about it in terms of change, configuration management, asset management, etc. How do we move? When we first started saying GUI, we've got to fix the GUI, we said, well, where's most of our customers? Most of our customers are self-service, or they're the guys answering incidents and problems and handling requests from the service desk perspective. So we went there first. Now we're going to continue to roll this out. Now, these next two, Blue Mix, okay, we're working on thinking about, what makes sense to put in a Blue Mix. In other words, what makes sense as a component that customers would pick up and put in applications, or better yet, application programmers would pick up and want to put in into their application. Is it something that will open a ticket when there's something wrong within the application? Is it something that a catalog, maybe an application needs a catalog capability? Okay, so we're looking at these things. We haven't set a firm on this, but this is the way that we're heading. That's what our designers are thinking about. That's what we as product managers are thinking about. So knowledge search. Okay, how do we introduce Watson into Control Desk? Watson's a fantastic tool, and there's some technology from a search perspective that will not only search the Control Desk files, but actually go out to the internet and doing searching. We're looking at how we can bring that in. Not done yet, but it's almost ready for prime time. ISO 27000 for the SaaS offering, analytics, operational analytics for service desk, really what additional analytics we need, and also we do have a request for an enhancement process. It's been very active, thank you, and we're going to take the time, we're going to put it in some RFPs that you, the customers, have requested. So can we go in and do another poll question, please?
Absolutely.
Our final poll question
right now.
Sam, if you weren't here, I don't know what I'd do.
That's what I'm here for. So the question is, what area would you like to see improvements within IBM Control Desk? We'll leave this open for a little bit, let everyone make their vote.
Now there will be some, while you're doing that, there will be some upcoming Customer Advisory Council calls scheduled with the U.S. and with Europe. I look forward to particularly this area when you put in different areas that you would like to see improvement in. We're going to take the feedback from this. We'll introduce them in the CAC as an hour or whatever amount of time we have to discuss them more thoroughly. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no problem. We'll leave it open for just a few more seconds here. Let the rest of the audience make a vote. Okay. So it looks like 42% of the audience said self-service, 33% said service desk, 49% asset management, 49% change configuration management, and 49% reporting.
Okay, so we gave them a list of options, and
yes, yeah, there's a list of options, and
because if you add up those percentages,
yeah,
very large.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed that as I was going about halfway through that those numbers don't add up. So I think that's multiple answers were available. So.
Yes. No, I appreciate the input. That, again, I can't tell you how important that is. So let's go on to one last slide here. This is it's a architecture chart. Again, it gives you some good words about our product. It talks about infotech and things like that. But what I want to say to you, there's many, many different ways that the customers can interact with us. Customer advisory councils. I'm going to be scheduling those hopefully in August. So you want to be an active participant, get to me. I'll invite you to those customer advisory calls. We meet once a year for a face-to-face, usually in conjunction with our interconnect or our session in Vegas. But we have these informational calls so we can discuss certain things. The second way that you can interact with IBM, and I'm inviting everybody on this call to please do this, become a sponsor, okay? Really work with our developers. We're not going to take a lot of your time. We're not going to pester you. It's not advertising. It's real work that will result in a better product for you, the customers. The third way is certainly we'd love every customer that we have to be happy and to sign up to be a reference. And what I mean by reference, everything from, hey, could you talk to this customer? I've had sales opportunity. Could you tell them how you use the product? Or all the way up to, hey, you're using this very critical function within our product. Could you get on stage with my executive at this conference? Quite a wide range. We've done advertising with reference customers, et cetera. So please don't hesitate to become part of the Control Desk family and really interact with the Control Desk and the developers here, Rob, myself. We're always interested in talking to customers. I'd rather be talking to you guys than talking to Rob or Sam. Okay, sorry, Sam. But please do. So why don't we open it up for questions? We've got a few minutes left, I understand.
Yeah, perfect. So yes, we'll open up for Q&A now. If you do have a question you'd like to ask, please do so using the chat window, and you can find that in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. First question we have up here, Rich, is do you see ITSM taking over facility and real estate management?
That's an interesting question. Do you mean from managing the business process of real estate management, or are you talking more in terms of I know there's a real estate management within Maximo that be used. I sure would like some more information. Certainly the processes within the Control Desk can be used to drive business processes, whether it's either from a service window or self-service, those type of things that can all be built into there. All the tools are at your fingertips in order to do an application called real estate management. Right now, we don't have that within the product, but it would be an interesting further discussion to have.
And they did verify they were referring to the management of real estate processes.
And certainly that is something that I'd like to get some more information on. So whoever wrote that, if you want to write me an email, please do.
Yeah, we do have a Tririga solution for that, and clearly Control Desk can be used for service requests related to facilities and is used quite often for that today. So they do blend together a bit, but we do have a distinct solution for that in Tririga.
Okay, another question?
Which module of BigFix work SCC?
I'm sorry, say that again.
The question is, which module of BigFix works SCC?
works with Control Desk? I'm
Yeah, I
assuming
think
they're
that's,
at, yes.
yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, it's the endpoint manager, endpoint lifecycle manager.
And it also integrates with the SUA
To collect the data.
software usage analysis, yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Will the service portal be available for base Maximo?
That's an interesting question, Rob. It's not available today, but certainly.
I actually missed that. What was the question?
Will the service portal be available for base Maximo?
It is not today.
Now, it depends on whether you're referring to Maximo Enterprise Asset Management or if you're talking about IBM Control Desk, which some people refer to as.
Yeah, I was assuming Enterprise Asset Management.
Yeah,
the answer
but
to
if it's the question of the service portal being accessible to Control Desk, yes, it'll be accessible from on-premise as well as the SaaS version.
All right. When is this available on IBM Service Engage and on-prem?
Well, a lot of the function that we talked about today, other than the service portal, will be available in on-premise end of month. July 31st, I believe, is the EGA date. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. And for available on Service Engage, Rob, can you give a projection there? You're closer to that than I.
Well, it comes out with the same release, the same SaaS release.
Okay, so 31st.
Excellent.
This week.
Is the Self-Service Center mobile phone friendly in ICD 7.6?
Rob, you want to talk to that?
Yes, it was designed to be mobile device friendly. HTML5 renders for the dimensions of the device. So yes.
Great. Well, let me get through these. I got a few other ones here. Can you use the service portal in a hybrid Maximo/ICD environment?
Yes. Rob, do you want to add to that?
I'm assuming so. Someone's doing IT service management and enterprise asset management. It only works with the IT service management process side of that. And as we said earlier, it doesn't apply to the enterprise asset management side of that today.
Yeah, but it would be a good, interesting discussion to have with whoever asked that question about, do they see a need for it to be working with enterprise asset management, and what ways?
Sure. We'll make sure we get who asked these questions to you guys too. So if there's any other additional follow-up,
yeah,
we can make sure that happens.
Yeah, that's definitely one that there could be a lot of detail to how that might work in this scenario.
Sure. There were a lot of restrictions on configuring self-service portal in 7.5.x versions for administrators. How flexible is self-service portal with respects to configuration in the 7.6 version?
It supports branding and skinning configuration capabilities, and this is something that's going to increase in the future releases that we're coming out with. So the configuration capabilities will be growing for that.
Okay, great. Okay, this is another bit of a long one, but did I understand correctly that an on-premise customer could connect to the new stuff on the cloud, use it as if it were an extra module on their system, and have that data drawn into their on-premise system, and that all that good stuff would be available no charge?
That is correct.
Right.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do we have forecast and trend analysis canned reports for service desk function, configuration management, and software asset management part of SCCD?
I don't know the answer. Rob, do you know? I haven't looked at all the reports. I know there's, what, 30 extra out-of-the-box reports now.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the specifics on that. And we're existing approximately 350 reports. So some areas that are covered, it would probably need a little bit more detail on that to match it up. So.
Yeah, and certainly they can access those new reports once Service Engage is updated at the end of the week, and take a look at what's out there.
Okay. IBM never had an app for mobile devices. This was designed like a URL that's been accessible over mobile devices. Will there be a change to this strategy and to use apps that can be downloaded from, an app store?
Not in this release, but is something we're looking at.
Great. Any other questions? That is the gamut of them at this point.
Well, I would like to thank everybody for attending, and looks like most of them stayed till the end, so hopefully there was value provided. And again, we are going to get contact information for you and for those people that have specific other questions or want to take advantage of some of the programs that I mentioned right there at the end. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. We're always looking for reasons to travel and talk to our customers.
Fantastic. And thank you, Richard. Appreciate your time. That was a great presentation there. And thank you to Rob for helping out on the Q&A portion. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for attending. Please do take a few moments to fill out our post-event survey. We take the input very seriously and use it to, build upon our events and continue making them better. But this does conclude today's conference, and you may now disconnect.
Sam, are you still there?
Yes, I am still here.
Okay, so we will get the post report.
Yes, yep, we'll have all the information and all the questions and all the information on there in that report.
Okay, is there anything that we should do differently on the 4:30 call or the 5:30 call?
No, I don't think so. I thought that went really well.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for helping us out today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you later this afternoon, Rich.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.